don't get in the car." The desperate shriek of a young girl tore through the pre-dawn silence of the bustling city. What the CEO did next shocked the entire company. "Don't get in the car." Luna's scream was a high-pitched alarm, cutting through the crisp morning air like a knife, causing all the top executives in the Sterling parking garage to freeze. The 11-year-old girl ran frantically toward the sleek, silver Tesla, where CEO Eleanor Vance was about to enter. Vance's hand, adorned with a delicate gold watch, froze on the door handle. Her 2 security guards were already moving to intercept the child who had burst out of the staff entrance like a hurricane. Luna was the daughter of Ben Carter, the night janitor who had been cleaning the company's offices for 12 years without ever being seen or acknowledged by the executives. She often accompanied her father on school holidays, a quiet ghost in the corporate hallways. "Hold that kid!" shouted the head of security, but Luna was too fast. Her worn tennis shoes skidded on the polished concrete as she gestured frantically to Vance. "Please, ma'am, don't get in. Something's wrong." Eleanor Vance, a 48-year-old tech mogul, looked at the sweaty, panting black child with a mixture of irritation and curiosity. This was the first time in over a decade that she had noticed Luna, who was always just a silent figure doing her homework in the lobby. "What on earth?" Vance muttered, her busy schedule of important meetings interrupted by a child who, in her eyes, shouldn't have even been there. Where did this kid come from? Luna knew she only had seconds before she was dragged away. Her eyes, shining with held-back tears, met Vance's. "Ma'am, I saw it last night. They were messing with your car." For a moment, the world stopped. Vance felt a cold sensation run up her spine. Her calculating mind began to process the child's words. Luna, who spent hours invisible in the hallways, had seen something no one else had noticed. The girl was breathing heavily, her small hands trembling, not with fear, but with determination. She had kept this secret for hours, fighting the fear of not being believed, of being punished, of causing trouble for her father. But someone's life was at risk, and Luna knew she couldn't live with herself if she didn't try to warn them. Vance looked at the car, then at the little girl, then at the tense faces of the executives around her. Something in Luna's desperate gaze made her hesitate. That child knew every corner of that building, every sound, every nighttime movement that important adults never noticed. There, in front of all the looks of contempt and impatience, Luna stood firm like someone guarding a secret too powerful to be ignored. "This is ridiculous," scoffed Sarah Jenkins, the vice president of marketing. "Eleanor, you're not going to listen to this kid, are you? We have the quarterly report to finalize." Vance raised her hand, silencing Jenkins. "What exactly did you see, Luna?" The girl swallowed hard, knowing that every word could be her last chance. "Last night, while my dad was cleaning the 20th floor, I was in the lobby doing my homework. I saw 2 men in suits go down to the garage. They were messing around under your car for almost 20 minutes. 2 men in suits," Vance said, her mind racing. "Half the people in this company wear suits. But they weren't normal employees, ma'am," Luna insisted. "One of them had a crescent-shaped scar over his left eye. The other one had a silver briefcase with a strange symbol on it." An icy silence fell over the parking garage. Vance felt the blood freeze in her veins. She knew exactly who Luna was describing. Her rival, Thorne Innovations, had been trying to acquire Sterling, for months. The man with the scar was her old business rival's head of security, a notoriously brutal man named Elias. The man with the briefcase was a known tech mercenary, Liam, who specialized in corporate sabotage. "That's preposterous," Jenkins laughed nervously. "Eleanor, are you really considering delaying an important meeting because of a child's imagination?" Luna turned to Jenkins, her eyes flashing with a determination that surprised everyone. "Ma'am, I know you think I'm just another poor kid who shouldn't be here, but I know every sound in this building at night. I know when something is out of place. Ben Carter came running through the side entrance of the building, still wearing his faded blue janitor uniform. His hands trembled as he approached the group of powerful women surrounding his daughter. "Luna, for God's sake, what are you doing?" He grabbed the girl's arm, his eyes darting between his daughter and Vance. "Miss Vance, I am so sorry. She's just a child sometimes." "Dad, no." Luna gently pulled away from her father's arm. "I can't let her get in that car." "Ben," Vance said softly, surprising everyone with her respectful tone. "Your daughter is trying to warn me about something that could be dangerous. You've raised her well." Vance ignored Jenkins completely. "Luna, those men you saw, did they say anything? Did you hear any of their conversation?" Luna closed her eyes, concentrating. "The one with the scar said something about the problem will be solved by morning." The other one laughed and said, "She's finally learned not to mess with Thorn Innovations." Vance felt a chill run down her spine as she remembered the recent phone call where Thorn had threatened to end her career one way or another. Vance glanced at her Tesla, then at Luna, then at the impatient faces of the executives around her. For the first time in years, the tech mogul felt genuine gratitude towards someone who had nothing to gain by protecting her. She made a decision that would change not only her morning, but her entire perspective on power and invisibility. "Graves, call security," Vance said calmly. "I want them to inspect my car immediately." Jenkins rolled her eyes dramatically. "Eleanor, this is ridiculous. We're going to be late." "Sarah, shut up," Vance interrupted sharply, her eyes still fixed on Luna. "Luna, I want you to tell me every single detail of what you saw. Every movement. Every word." The girl took a deep breath, feeling for the first time in her life that a powerful adult was really listening to her. The security team arrived with specialized equipment. 10 minutes later, the head of security returned, his face pale. "Miss Vance, we found a sophisticated explosive device connected to the ignition system. It was set to detonate at 7:45 a.m., exactly when you were supposed to leave." A deadly silence fell over the garage. Jenkins swallowed hard, her face draining of color. The other executives looked at each other, realizing they had almost witnessed their boss's death. Vance knelt in front of Luna, placing her hands on the girl's shoulders. "You saved my life, Luna. How can I ever thank you?" "By finding whoever wants to hurt you, ma'am," Luna replied without hesitation. "Because if they tried once, they'll try again." "And?" Vance stood up, her business mind already processing the implications. "Ben, I want both of you in my office now. Luna, I need you to help me understand this." "Miss Vance," Ben murmured, "we don't want any trouble. Luna was just trying to help." "Your family just saved my life," Vance interrupted gently. "You're not the problem. You're the solution." In the elevator, Vance asked, "Luna, you said they had special keys. That means someone inside the company helped them. Did you see anything that could point to an inside job?" The girl nodded gravely. "Yes, ma'am. I also saw one of the directors come down to the garage half an hour after they left. She didn't see them, but they greeted each other like friends." "Which director?" Vance asked, though she already suspected the answer. "Miss Jenkins," Luna said. "The same one who didn't want you to hear me today." Ben felt a chill run down his spine. His daughter had just exposed a conspiracy involving people powerful enough to kill. Vance watched the father and daughter, realizing she had found the most unlikely and valuable allies of her career. "Ben, Luna," she said as the elevator doors opened to her private office, "I hope you're ready for an adventure, because we're going to find out exactly who is behind this." In Vance's office, Luna revealed her superpower, a photographic memory and an understanding of the building's hidden networks. "When I get bored, I try to memorize all the server rooms," she explained shyly. "I learned by watching. Vance smiled. Luna, I need you to prove it to me. For the next 2 hours, Luna guided Vance through service corridors and stairwells that even the CEO didn't know about. The girl moved like a ghost, knowing exactly where every camera was positioned and when the security guards made their rounds. In the server room, Luna demonstrated a surprising skill with technology. She found emails between Jenkins and Thorne's people, recordings of phone calls planning Vance's death, and secret financial transfers. The most shocking evidence was a detailed document on how to take over the company after Vance's accidental death, with a plan to sell the company to Thorne Innovations. Miss Vance, Luna said, there's a quarterly meeting with all the major investors tomorrow at 2 p.m. Miss Jenkins will use this meeting to announce her promotion. Vance smiled for the first time in hours. Luna, are you suggesting we expose everything in front of 50 millionaire investors in the trade press? Yes, ma'am, Luna replied with impressive maturity. When someone tries to kill you and fails, the best revenge is to destroy their reputation in front of everyone they want to impress. On Friday at 2 p.m., the main meeting room was packed. Jenkins, impeccably dressed and confident, presented the new direction of the company. Fortunately, our CEO is safe, and we can now move forward with important projects like our imminent merger with Thorne Innovations. That's a decision that will never be made, Vance interrupted, stepping to the front of the room. The silence was instantaneous. Jenkins paled but maintained her composure. Eleanor, I'm glad you're here. We were just discussing new protocols after yesterday's scare. Sarah, let's call it what it is, Vance said coldly. Attempted premeditated murder. A shocked murmur rippled through the room. Jenkins forced a nervous laugh. Eleanor, you're clearly shaken. Perhaps it would be best. Luna, holding a tablet connected to the presentation system, pressed a key. Immediately, the screens filled with Jenkins's incriminating emails. Her own voice began to echo through the speakers. The Vance problem will be resolved by morning. Prepare the succession documents. Jenkins's face went from white to red, then purple. This is a setup. Someone hacked my email. James, did you really think you could kill me and take over my company in front of the same investors who are now seeing the evidence of your crime? Who found this out? Jenkins asked, her voice breaking. Vance placed her hand on Luna's shoulder. It was this brilliant 11-year-old, the daughter of our employee, Ben Carter. She saved my life because she paid attention to what we all ignored. Jenkins looked at Luna, the black girl she had despised just 2 days earlier, and realized that her career, reputation, and freedom had been destroyed by someone she considered completely irrelevant. You, Jenkins whispered incredulously. A janitor's kid. Destroyed me. No, Luna replied with impressive maturity. You destroyed yourself when you thought you could kill people and no one was paying attention. I just showed everyone who you really are. At that moment, federal agents entered the room. Jenkins was arrested right there in front of all the investors and journalists present. Gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Luna Carter, our new special internal security consultant, and Ben Carter, who will be promoted to night operations supervisor with an immediate pay raise. The applause was spontaneous and genuine. Luna, still holding the tablet that had defeated an empire of corruption, smiled shyly as her father cried with pride and relief. 6 months after Jenkins's arrest, the transformation at Sterling. Sterling was so profound, it seemed like a different company. Luna, now 12, had become a corporate legend. She had revolutionized the company's security by implementing what she called the Total Visibility Protocol, a program that leverages the observations of all staff members, from janitors to receptionists. Meanwhile, in a federal penitentiary, Sarah Jenkins was serving a 25-year sentence. She spent her days in the prison library, obsessively reading news articles about the growing success of Sterling. Every story. About Luna, a new stab to her shattered ego. How did a kid destroy me? She would repeat constantly. Back at Sterling. Luna concluded a presentation to a group of visiting executives from other companies. Invisibility can be a curse or a superpower, she said. It depends on who's paying attention. Vance watched from the back of the room, her eyes filled with gratitude. Luna had taught her that true leaders aren't those who command, but those who observe, listen, and value every person around them. That night, Ben tucked Luna into bed in their new apartment, a gift from Vance that he had initially refused until she explained that it was an investment in Luna's education. "Dad," Luna said softly, "do you regret all those nights working invisible in that building?" Ben thought for a moment, remembering the years of silent cleaning, of being ignored. "No, my love. Every invisible night prepared us for the day we became impossible to ignore." A single courageous voice had changed everything. Luna had proven that age, color, or social status never determine a person's worth. She had given a voice to those who had always been invisible, and in doing so, she had created a world where true power doesn't come from tearing others down, but from lifting up those whom society insists on making unseen.